It began really when I was 19. I was a passenger. I was a volunteer co-pilot, but I ended up being a passenger on a twin-engine airplane, a propeller-driven airplane, an aircraft called the Piper Navajo. And this was July 18th, 1969. Just before takeoff that day, I got tapped on the shoulder by the boss, Chuck, who was my flight instructor, and he was like my older brother in a lot of ways. And he told me to flip-flop seats. So I got out of the seat in the co-pilot. He got in and he strapped himself in. We started rolling down the runway. We were building up speed. I noticed then this strange sound, a horrendous whine and synchronization between the two engines. And something was horribly wrong. That was clear within about a second. And I started scanning the dials to see what could possibly be wrong. And I was looking, and about that time, Chuck yelled in the cockpit. That's never done, by the way. He barked and yelled and said, "Let's land in that clear area over there." And he pointed with his left hand. And I looked up, I leaned up in that chair, and I looked up and I saw what looked like a park, a bunch of green grass. I watched Chuck grab the flight controls with both hands and turn them all the way left, all the way back against his chest. And that was my last memory. We impacted that at about the 75-foot mark at 135 miles an hour. And with that impact, the airplane just broke into a couple thousand pieces, and there was no cockpit to be in anymore. So all three of us slammed into this immovable object, kind of like two cars going head on the freeway, that kind of impact. And it was lethal. It actually caused fatalities, of course, that impact, that blunt trauma. And then the three pilots fell, all three of us, just right next to each other on the ground. I'm looking down and I look at the first pilot in uniform and I go, man, he is dead, no doubt. But I didn't recognize right away who that was. And then I look at the second pilot and, oh my gosh, that's Chuck Burns. He's my flight instructor. He's my good friend. And he looked dead. And then the third body was me. But I was completely confused as to why I'm looking down at three pilots. One of those people is me, and it hit me. All of a sudden, it hit me. Oh my gosh, that's not me. I'm up here. That's not me. That's my body. I'm Dale Black. Not that my name means anything. It doesn't. That's just who I am. That's my name. And I'm Dale Black, and I'm up here. I am a spirit. And I have a soul, and I used to live in that body, but I'm not that body. And all of a sudden, I realized in my youthful 19 years, I had always thought that I was my body. Maybe no one else has, but I sure have. I thought that was me. And there was no reason logically in the world that our Navajo didn't explode, if not at the top of the monument, certainly down at the bottom of the monument. And there was no fire. I can only tribute God as a miracle working God.